Job chapter 29. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his sight I walked through darkness, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were about with me, when I washed my steps with butter, and the rock poured out rivers of oil, when I went out to the gate through the city, when I prepared my seat in the street, the young men saw me and hid themselves, and the aged arose and stood up. The princes refrained talking and laid their hand on their mouth. The nobles held their peace, and their tongue cleaved to the roof of their mouth. When the ear heard me, then it blessed me, and when the eyes saw me, I gave witness to me. Because I delivered the poor that cried and the fatherless, and him that had none to help me. The blessing of him that was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe in a diadem. I was eyes to the blind, and feet was I to the lame. I was a father to the poor. In the cause which I knew not, I searched out. I brake the jaws of the wicked, and plucked the spoil out of his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the sand. My root was spread out by the waters, and the dew lay all night upon my branch. My glory was fresh in me, and my bow was renewed in my hand. Unto me men gave ear and waited, and kept silence at my counsel. After my words they spake not again, and my speech dropped upon them. And they waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the later rain. If I laughed on them, they believed it not. In the light of my conscience they cast not down. I chose out their way, and sat chief, and I dwelt as a king in the army, as one that comforteth the mourners. Amen. It says down here, Job reminisces about his past, about the good times and joy he had before all his trouble came upon his life. In those days, he walked in the light of God. His children, who are all dead now, used to run around his feet, and what joy their voices brought him. Luxuries like cream were as common as the dirt beneath his feet. Goodness at one time seemed to follow him wherever he went. Job had been a respected man who sat at the gates of the city as part of the city council. The young deferred to him, and the aged stood in respect of him. Job's description here serves as a catalogue of his losses. Earlier, Job's friends had accused him of oppressing the poor and taking advantage of the fatherless and widows. But Job contends that the opposite is true. He had a reputation as a good man because he helped the poor and fatherless, comforted the dying, and brought joy to the widow's heart. When people looked at Job, they saw righteousness and justice. He helped the disabled, befriended strangers, and stood against wicked. He was a good man who practiced what he believed. In those earlier times, Job had it all figured out. Since he was doing good, he expected that he would live to an old age, that his life would continue to be blessed. He would be like the righteous man described in Psalm 1, who is like a tree planted by the streams of water. His reputation as the greatest man among all the peoples of the East would be constant, but things are not working out as he planned. People used to gather and wait in line to hear the wisdom of Job. His words are refreshing to them. They stood drinking in his words. They were delighted when they won his approval. Job received a lot of respect from the multitudes of people who came to hear him. There is the idea here that when he spoke, you could have heard a pin drop. That is the way it was. But now things have changed dramatically. Amen, amen.